Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel. A brief introduction on RSJ Inspection. RSJ Inspection is an independent and third-party social audit firm. Please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. And today you are going to learn on management systems. The International Labour Organization, ILO, promotes management systems to ensure compliance with labor standards and maintain decent work conditions. While the ILO does not prescribe a specific management system standard, it emphasizes integrated frameworks for managing labor rights, health and safety, working conditions, and social protection. Below are the key elements of management systems as per ILO principles. Key components of management systems as per ILO. 1. Occupational Safety and Health Management Systems, OSHMS, provide a structured approach for promoting continuous improvement in workplace health and safety. Key elements: policy and commitment. Employers must develop and implement an OSH policy aligned with national standards and ILO conventions. Planning, identify and assess workplace risks and establish preventive measures. Implementation and operation, ensure availability of resources, responsibilities, training, and communication channels for safe operations. Monitoring and evaluation, track performance through audits, inspections, and worker feedback. Review and improvement, periodically review the system to adapt to changing risks and regulations. 2. Social compliance management system. Social compliance frameworks ensure that companies adhere to labor standards, including freedom of association, collective bargaining, non-discrimination, and elimination of forced and child labor. Key elements: policies and codes of conduct. Develop policies on labor standards aligned with ILO conventions. Risk assessment. Identify risks related to non-compliance in direct operations and supply chains, e.g., subcontracting. Due diligence and monitoring. Conduct regular audits and inspections to ensure compliance by subcontractors and suppliers. Worker participation. Involve workers in compliance efforts and grievance mechanisms. Grievance mechanisms establish formal channels for workers to report issues safely and without fear of retaliation. 3. Human Resource Management Systems, HRMS. Management systems should align HR practices with labor standards to ensure fair treatment and decent work for all employees. Key elements: fair recruitment, ensure non-discriminatory recruitment practices. Training and development, provide continuous training, including on health and safety, collective bargaining, and workers' rights. Performance management, develop transparent systems for evaluating performance and career growth. Working conditions and benefits, monitor compliance with wage, overtime, and leave regulations. Employee relations, foster dialogue between management and workers, respecting freedom of association. 4. Supply chain and subcontracting management. The ILO's guidelines on global supply chains emphasize the need for companies to manage risks and ensure compliance with labor standards throughout their supply chains. Key elements: supplier screening. Assess labor practices during supplier selection, ensuring they align with ILO standards. Contracts and agreements include labor compliance clauses in contracts with subcontractors and suppliers. Monitoring and auditing. Conduct regular audits to verify compliance at all tiers of the supply chain. Corrective action plans require subcontractors and suppliers to address non-compliance issues promptly. Management commitment and leadership. Strong leadership is essential for ensuring that management systems are effective in promoting decent work. Key principles include accountability. Top management must be accountable for implementing ILO-aligned policies. Worker engagement. Involve workers and their representatives in policy making and management reviews. Transparency. Publish reports on compliance and performance to ensure stakeholders are informed. Continuous improvement and reporting. ILO-compliant management systems should follow the Plan Do Check Act. PDCA cycle to ensure continuous improvement. Plan. Establish policies, objectives, and action plans. Do. Implement the policies and processes. Check. Monitor and measure performance. Identify gaps. Act. Take corrective actions and review policies based on findings. Worker participation and social dialogue. Management systems must actively include workers and trade unions in decision-making processes, ensuring that their voices are heard. The ILO emphasizes collective bargaining, facilitate negotiations between workers and management. Health and safety committees include worker representatives in safety committees. Consultation mechanisms develop channels for worker feedback and participation in workplace governance. Conclusion. An effective management system aligned with ILO standards integrates policies, practices, and monitoring tools to ensure decent working conditions, occupational safety, and compliance with fundamental labor rights. Whether applied to health and safety, social compliance, human resources, or supply chain management, the ILO advocates for systems that promote participation, accountability, and continuous improvement.